I certainly like pina coladas getting caught in the rain.
Yes.
Have you ever found yourself on vacation and wondered why you are unable to just chill out and do nothing? Well,
no.
Neither have I, Gayle. Our next guest has been there. Arthur C. Brooks is a happiness expert and a CBS News contributor. His latest column for the Free Press is titled, "I Tried to Take a Vacation Like a European. It Was a Disaster." He writes, cheekily, I should add, "I'd literally rather electrocute myself than lie on a beach doing nothing." Arthur, good morning.
Well, good morning.
What's the matter with you?
That's my wife asks me all the time. She said those exact words.
Yeah, so here's what's really interesting, and you and I were talking about this. We both spent our 20s and early 30s living in Europe. You lived in Barcelona. You even married a Spaniard. And what did you learn during that time about how Europeans enjoy their vacation, their leisure time, compared to how Americans do?
So I grew up not taking summer vacations. My parents didn't, we didn't go someplace every August, for example. So I didn't have that culture. But I also noticed that a lot of Americans don't take most of their vacation days. 55% of Americans leave their vacation days unused, as a matter of fact. And so it might seem insane, particularly to a lot of Europeans, and in point of fact, it did. I went to live in Barcelona when I was in my 20s, and what were we supposed to do when I first got married? Take August off and go to a beach or go to the Pyrenees, look at a village, and that's supposed to be great. And I had a really, really hard time with it. I have found that a lot of Americans struggle with the nothing box on vacation, where a lot of Europeans find it incredibly refreshing. And so what I have tried to do in my research and in my own investigation subsequently, now that I'm actually a social scientist, is what's the difference between these Europeans and how can we be more like them so that we can get sustenance and refreshment when we take our vacation?
You actually say there's a biological explanation between us and them.
Yeah, there's a lot of research from neuroscientists that shows that some people, when they're doing nothing, when they're idle, they illuminate the right hemisphere of their brain, and it gives them a sense of mission and meaning. It makes them sort of think about the intuitive, wonderful parts of life. Others go to the left hemisphere of their brain and they say, I'm bored, I got to go do things. I actually have the belief that Americans, they tend to be more left-brained on vacation. They get ants in their pants when they're sitting on the beach. That's certainly me. And so I had to learn over the last few years on how to take a vacation, how to actually do that, how to become more like my Spanish wife.
I like that you can take a vacation and just write it off as research and investigation. I can appreciate that. But what are the benefits, and what are the benefits that you learn? Where you're unplugging, decompressing, and actually getting to relax, and not just sitting in idle time.
Right. If you are a European, if you have a natural vacation brain, what happens is that you will find, to get flights of fancy, you'll have mind wandering, you'll find the meaning of your life when you're actually sitting on the beach. If you don't, then you'll just get really bored and you'll become very negative. And the result of that is that for those of us who are watching us who say, I don't like doing that, you need to dedicate your vacation to something actually productive, but it's not something that pays you. So there's three big things that we can actually do to make our vacations better, those of us who suffer on the beach.
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3. Number one is to deepen your relationships. So when I'm on the beach with my wife, I'm focusing on her.
Good.
And I'm talking about, that's a really important thing to do, because I work really hard and sometimes and so that's a task. That's a good, but it's a lovely task. It's a beautiful,
a rewarding one.
Exactly right. The second is to actually deepen my religious faith and my spiritual life. So some people will meditate more, or they'll read Holy Scripture, whatever the divine means to them. So get more philosophically deep. And last but not least is to learn something they're not paying you to learn.
And
that's just not just a novel.
Too.
That's like learning something you've always wanted to learn about, and use your vacation time for that.
And that right there is proper leisure.
Exactly
I appreciate it. Arthur C. Brooks, amazing as always. Thank you so much. And just take some time off and relax.